Welcome to Stoic Compass, where we explore timeless wisdom to help you navigate life's challenges with resilience and clarity. Do you ever feel exhausted trying to live up to others' expectations or shield yourself from their opinions? In a world filled with constant noise, comparisons and judgment, it's easy to lose yourself in the chaos. The search for validation can be draining, leaving you feeling disconnected from what truly matters, your own inner peace. Lasting tranquility isn't found in the shifting approval of others. It comes from within. From mastering your own mind rather than attempting to control external circumstances. Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in focusing on what we can shape our thoughts, emotions, and actions. By shifting our attention inward, we reclaim our power and build resilience in the face of life's uncertainties. Imagine stepping away from the endless cycle of distractions and external pressures. Picture yourself grounded, unshaken by opinions, and fully in control of your own reactions. This is the essence of inner freedom. What you're about to discover isn't just a collection of philosophical ideas. It's a way of thinking that has transformed lives for centuries. Take a deep breath. Clear your mind and engage fully in this journey of self-discovery. Every lesson ahead is a stepping stone toward a more centered, resilient, and unshakable version of yourself. 1. Embracing self-love, finding wholeness within. In a world that constantly romanticizes the idea of finding the one, we are often led to believe that true happiness comes from being in a relationship. Movies, books, and social media paint love as the ultimate key to fulfillment, making it easy to feel incomplete without a romantic partner. But real happiness is not something another person can give you. It is something you must cultivate within yourself. Self-love is not about vanity or isolation. It is about recognizing your worth, embracing your flaws, and treating yourself with the same kindness you offer others. It means understanding that your value does not depend on someone else's presence or approval. When you develop a strong sense of self-worth, you no longer seek relationships to fill a void, but rather to complement the life you are already building. Redefining fulfillment. Many people chase love, hoping it will bring them joy and meaning, but often overlook the richness of the relationships already present in their lives. True connection is not limited to romance. It thrives in friendships, family bonds, and moments of genuine human interaction. A conversation with an old friend, a shared laugh with a colleague, or the simple comfort of being around loved ones can be just as fulfilling, if not more so than any romantic relationship. Beyond personal relationships, self-love allows you to engage more meaningfully with the world. When you prioritize your well-being, you develop a greater capacity for kindness, empathy, and generosity. Acts of service, whether supporting a friend, helping a stranger, or contributing to a cause, become sources of deep satisfaction. By shifting the focus from seeking love to giving love, you discover a more profound sense of purpose. The joy of being enough. Loving yourself does not mean rejecting love from others. It means no longer depending on it for your happiness. Instead of waiting for someone to complete you, you recognize that you are already whole. Life's most beautiful moments are often found in solitude, the quiet peace of watching a sunrise, the thrill of pursuing a personal goal, the satisfaction of creating something meaningful. Happiness is not something you wait for. It is something you cultivate through your choices, experiences, and mindset. When you embrace self-love, you free yourself from unrealistic expectations and open the door to deeper, more authentic relationships, not just with others, but with yourself. True fulfillment is not found in another person, but in the way you choose to live, grow, and love, starting from within. 2. The gift of solitude, reclaiming time and inner peace. In a world that constantly demands our attention, solitude can feel like an unfamiliar concept. We are always connected, checking emails, scrolling through social media, juggling responsibilities, yet we often reach the end of the day feeling drained and unfulfilled. Have you ever paused to ask yourself, where has all my time gone? The ancient Stoics understood that time is our most precious resource. Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." We often spend our days worrying about the opinions of others, engaging in distractions, and chasing fleeting pleasures instead of using our time wisely. But what if we reclaimed our time by embracing solitude? What if we saw stillness not as loneliness, but as an opportunity to cultivate strength and clarity? Finding stillness amid the noise. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who carried the weight of an empire, still made time for reflection. In Meditations, he wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Even in the midst of war and political strife, he understood the power of solitude, of stepping away from external chaos to find inner stability. True solitude is not about escaping society, but about creating space for self-awareness. When we are alone, we stop performing for others and start listening to ourselves. Consider the story of Bill Gates, who, even at the height of his career, took regular think weeks. He would retreat to a secluded cabin, free from distractions, to read, reflect, and strategize. These moments of solitude helped him gain clarity, leading to some of the most groundbreaking innovations at Microsoft. Living fully in the present. One of the biggest lessons Stoicism teaches is to value the present moment. Too often, we are caught up in regrets about the past or anxieties about the future. But as Epictetus reminded us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. This means letting go of the need for external approval and focusing instead on our own growth. Imagine a person who spends their time endlessly seeking validation, chasing likes on social media, worrying about how others perceive them. Now, contrast that with someone who deliberately steps away from the noise, takes time to read, reflect, and engage in meaningful work. The latter will likely lead a far more fulfilled and self-directed life. Consider the example of Kai, Rowling before she became famous. At a time when she was struggling as a single mother, she found solace in writing. In a quiet cafe, away from distractions, she poured her energy into creating the world of Harry Potter. Solitude was not a hindrance, it was the key to unlocking her creativity and purpose. The freedom of self-reflection. When we embrace solitude, we shift from being reactive to being intentional. Instead of allowing the world to dictate how we feel, we take control of our own thoughts and actions. This is the essence of self-mastery, a core Stoic principle. By practicing stillness, we gain the ability to step back and ask ourselves important questions. What truly matters to me? Am I spending my time wisely? Am I pursuing things that align with my values, or am I simply following the crowd? Through self-reflection, we build resilience, independence, and clarity. The more we cultivate this inner awareness, the less we are swayed by external pressures. As Seneca put it, "He who is everywhere is nowhere." In other words, without deliberate focus and solitude, we spread ourselves too thin and lose sight of what truly matters. Harnessing solitude for strength. When we use solitude wisely, we transform it into a tool for growth. Some of the greatest thinkers, artists, and leaders in history, from Marcus Aurelius to Leonardo da Vinci to Steve Jobs, have all recognized the power of spending time alone to refine their ideas and strengthen their character. So, the next time you find yourself mindlessly scrolling or filling every quiet moment with distractions, pause. Take a deep breath. Embrace the stillness. In that space, you will not only find peace, but also the foundation for true strength and purpose. And as we step forward, this foundation will lead us to the next essential lesson, harnessing the power of self-reliance. 3. The power of standing on your own, embracing self-reliance. In a world where approval is just a click away, it's easy to fall into the habit of seeking validation from others. Whether through social media, career success, or relationships, many people measure their worth based on external opinions. But what happens when that approval disappears? When applause fades, criticism arises, or support is nowhere to be found? This is where self-reliance becomes your greatest asset. The freedom of trusting yourself. True strength doesn't come from the praise of others, it comes from within. The Stoics taught that we should never place our happiness in the hands of things outside our control. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Think of someone who embodies this principle, J.K. Rowling, for example. Before becoming one of the world's most successful authors, she faced rejection from multiple publishers, financial hardship, and personal struggles. But instead of giving up, she placed faith in her own abilities. She relied on her perseverance, not external approval, to bring her vision to life. This is the essence of self-reliance, not waiting for others to validate you, but trusting yourself enough to keep moving forward. Taking responsibility for your own growth. Self-reliance doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means developing the ability to navigate life with confidence, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. One of the simplest ways to strengthen this mindset is by taking ownership of your life's direction. Instead of depending on someone else to manage your finances, take control of your spending and savings. Rather than waiting for motivation to strike, create a routine that instills discipline and progress. When faced with a problem, resist the urge to immediately seek outside help first. Ask yourself, can I figure this out on my own? Every challenge you overcome alone adds another layer to your resilience. The more you trust yourself, the less you'll feel the need to rely on external reassurance. Finding strength in solitude. Have you ever felt lost in the expectations of others? Many people attach their happiness to relationships, friendships, or the presence of others, believing they need constant companionship to feel whole. But the Stoics remind us that solitude is not loneliness. It's an opportunity to reconnect with ourselves. Consider the story of Theodore Roosevelt. Before becoming a U.S. president, he suffered a devastating personal loss, the deaths of his wife and mother on the same day. Overwhelmed with grief, he retreated to the Dakota Badlands, where he lived in solitude, working as a rancher and immersing himself in nature. That time alone strengthened him, shaping him into the resilient leader he would later become. When you learn to enjoy your own company, life stops being a constant search for external fulfillment. A peaceful morning spent reading, a quiet walk, or moments of deep reflection can provide more clarity than 1,000 conversations. Living life on your own terms. Imagine a life where you don't feel the need to seek approval, where your confidence isn't shaken by rejection, and where your happiness isn't dependent on anyone else. That's the freedom self-reliance gives you. It's about knowing that you are enough, that you have the power to shape your own destiny, and that you don't need external validation to feel whole. Self-reliance isn't just a skill, it's a mindset, a way of living that allows you to move through life with confidence and inner peace. Start today. Take one step toward trusting yourself, no matter how small. Over time, you'll realize that everything you need has been within you all along. If you're ready to embrace this journey, comment "I choose self-reliance." Remember, the strongest foundation you can build is the one within yourself. 4. Mastering the art of saying no with confidence. Saying no can be incredibly difficult, yet it is one of the greatest acts of self-respect. It's not merely about turning down a request. It's a declaration that you value yourself, your priorities, and your well-being. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius advised, "Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary?" This simple yet profound question helps us distinguish between what truly matters and what drains our time and energy. Imagine a hectic day when a colleague approaches you, seeking help with a task they've put off until the last minute. You hesitate, caught between the impulse to be helpful and the weight of your own responsibilities. If you agree, you place their urgency above your own priorities. But if you decline with sincerity, you set a boundary, one that reinforces the worth of your time and energy. Saying no isn't selfish. It's an assertion of self-respect. People will only honor your time if you do so first. By declining requests that don't align with your values or capacity, you create space for what truly matters: genuine relationships and personal fulfillment. The ones who truly care about you will understand and respect the limits you establish. Like any skill, saying no takes practice. Start with small steps, turn down an unnecessary invitation, disengage from a draining conversation. Over time, you'll realize that refusing something doesn't lower your worth in others' eyes. Rather, it strengthens your ability to live authentically. At its core, Stoicism teaches that true freedom comes from focusing only on what we can control. As Epictetus wisely put it, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is achieved by disregarding things beyond our control. When you prioritize your time, energy, and personal values, you cultivate a sense of inner peace and resilience. Take a moment to reflect. Are there people in your life who consistently overstep your boundaries or make you feel undervalued? If so, it may be time to stand firm and say no. While it may be uncomfortable at first, it will ultimately lead to a life built on confidence and mutual respect. By learning to say no, You liberate yourself from unnecessary burdens and create space for self-care, both physically and mentally. True well-being comes from balancing a calm mind with a healthy body. As we continue this journey, let's explore how to nurture ourselves holistically so we can lead vibrant and meaningful lives. 5. Cultivating true self-care inside and out. Self-care is not about seeking approval or impressing others. It's a homecoming, a return to yourself. It's a way of building a strong foundation for both body and mind. A quiet declaration that I am worthy of care, love, and respect. Stoicism teaches that caring for oneself is not indulgence, but an act of deep self-respect. This practice isn't about dramatic changes or grand gestures. Often, it begins with the smallest choices you make each day. A few minutes of fresh air can refresh not only your body but also your thoughts. Preparing a simple meal with care is more than nourishment. It's a reminder that you deserve to be treated with kindness, even by yourself. When was the last time you listened to what your body truly needed? Have you allowed yourself to pause, take a slow breath, and feel the steady rhythm of your heart? These small moments are the building blocks of self-care, yet in the rush of daily life, they are often overlooked. Deadlines, obligations, and endless worries make it easy to neglect your own well-being. Rest is sacrificed, meals are rushed, and exhaustion becomes a constant state. But a mind cannot find peace in a body that is running on empty. By prioritizing rest, hydration, and proper nourishment, you give yourself the strength to face life's challenges with resilience. Taking care of yourself is not a luxury, it is a necessity. But self-care isn't just physical. A healthy body supports a strong spirit, but your mind also needs space to breathe. Take a few moments in silence each day, allowing your thoughts to settle instead of chasing them. Writing down your feelings can lighten the weight of your worries, revealing clarity where there was once confusion. At its core, self-care aligns with the virtues of Stoicism. Discipline, choosing to wake up early and move your body rather than lingering in bed. Moderation, resisting unhealthy impulses, knowing that true satisfaction comes from balance. Wisdom, recognizing that every act of care today builds a stronger, more resilient version of yourself tomorrow. Caring for yourself is not about proving anything to the world. It is a quiet but powerful act of self-commitment. It is saying to yourself, I matter, and I will not neglect my own well-being. This journey is about dignity, peace, and cultivating strength from within. So, ask yourself, what have I done today to care for my body and mind? Even the smallest act of self-kindness is a step forward. You are worthy of the same love and effort you give to others. We've now reached the halfway point of this journey. The fact that you're still here shows your determination to grow and take control of your life, something many abandon too soon. Keep going. Every choice you make strengthens the foundation of a life rooted in purpose and self-respect. Stay the course because you are worth the effort. 6. Achieving financial freedom through Stoic wisdom. True wealth isn't about how much you own, it's about how little you need. Epictetus captured this idea perfectly. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Money in itself is neither good nor bad. It is merely a tool. What matters is how you use it. Financial stability isn't about hoarding riches. It's about freeing yourself from unnecessary desires and making mindful choices that lead to long-term peace. Imagine payday arrives. Many rush to indulge in luxuries, seeking temporary happiness through material purchases. But a Stoic would pause and ask, "Does this truly serve me? Will this bring lasting value to my life?" Far too often, we spend to escape boredom, impress others, or numb emotional discomfort. Yet, when the excitement fades, we are left with an empty wallet and lingering anxiety. As Seneca warned, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. I once lived by impulse, chasing the thrill of extravagant purchases and social status. At first, it felt exhilarating, but as my savings dwindled and I found myself with nothing meaningful to show for it, I realized I was not in control. My desires were. What was I truly gaining? That moment of clarity led to change. I adopted a Stoic approach to money, tracking my expenses, eliminating unnecessary spending, and prioritizing what genuinely enriched my life. I began investing in personal growth, health, and financial security. The real reward wasn't just a growing savings account. It was the deep sense of relief that came from knowing I was prepared for life's uncertainties. Stoicism teaches that discipline over one's desires leads to true freedom. Marcus Aurelius advised, "If you seek tranquility, do less. Or more accurately, do what's essential." This wisdom applies to money as well. Instead of chasing fleeting pleasures, focus your resources on what matters: education, meaningful experiences, and financial independence. Wealth is not the goal. Autonomy over your life is. Money should serve you, not control you. When you stop defining success by material excess and instead measure it by financial wisdom and peace of mind, you gain true prosperity. A secure financial foundation shields you from unnecessary worries and allows you to live according to your values, free from financial stress and external pressures. So before making your next purchase, ask yourself, does this expense align with my principles and contribute to my well-being? If the answer is no, then you already know the right choice. In the end, the most valuable assets aren't material. They are peace of mind, financial security, and the ability to live with confidence. That is real wealth, perfectly aligned with the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. 7. Preserving dignity in relationships, a Stoic's guide to inner strength. In a world overflowing with expectations, opinions, and social pressures, maintaining dignity in relationships isn't just a virtue, it's the foundation of true inner freedom. Dignity is not something granted by others, nor is it built on their approval. It is the quiet strength of standing firm in your values, remaining true to yourself, and refusing to compromise your integrity for fleeting validation. Marcus Aurelius offers a powerful reminder: waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Consider a familiar situation. You're at work, and someone asks you to do something dishonest, perhaps cover up a mistake or manipulate a report. You know that saying no might make you unpopular or even cost you opportunities. Yet, instead of bending to pressure, you calmly decline and carry on with integrity. You don't seek confrontation, nor do you seek approval. This quiet, unwavering stance is the essence of dignity, neither arrogant nor weak, but rooted in self-respect. Too often, people surrender their dignity in exchange for acceptance. Have you ever agreed to something against your better judgment just to avoid conflict? That uneasy feeling afterward, that sense of self-betrayal, is a clear warning that you've placed others' opinions above your own principles. Seneca cautioned against this when he said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." A strong relationship, whether personal, romantic, or professional should never require you to abandon your true self. If you constantly change to meet someone else's expectations, the relationship becomes a burden instead of a source of support. True dignity means being honest about your feelings, needs, and boundaries without fear of rejection. By doing so, you not only honor yourself, but also cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections. Ask yourself, am I living in a way that aligns with my values, or am I merely shaping myself to be accepted? When you hold on to your dignity, you naturally attract people who appreciate you for who you are, those who inspire growth and strength rather than demand conformity. These are the relationships that uplift you, allowing you to thrive in your authenticity. Dignity is more than just a personal shield against life's trials. It is a light that guides you toward peace and self-assurance. When you uphold it, you gain resilience, clarity, and the courage to navigate life on your own terms. So let today be a turning point. Choose to stand firm. Choose to live with honesty. Choose to value yourself first. The moment you do, you will find that you no longer need external approval because the greatest respect you can earn is your own. Now, let's move forward to our next lesson. 8. Finding calm in life's storms. Life, much like a river in full force, pulls us along its unpredictable currents. It twists and turns, often catching us off guard. Yet, Stoicism reminds us that peace isn't achieved by running from the chaos, but by facing it with mastery over ourselves. Have you ever questioned whether we truly have control over life's uncertainties? Or is our real power found in how we choose to respond? Epictetus provides a guiding truth. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. These words are more than philosophy. They offer a key to true tranquility. Imagine this. You're stuck in traffic, late for an important meeting. The sound of honking fills the air. Frustration builds and stress takes hold. But ask yourself, can you change the situation? No. What you can control is your response. You could let anger take over, or you could take a deep breath, embrace the delay, and turn it into a moment of reflection. Serenity isn't something reserved for monks on mountaintops. It exists in everyday life. Consider the firefighter rushing into flames or the surgeon performing under immense pressure. They remain composed because they understand one essential truth. Fear is temporary, but self-control is lasting power. Marcus Aurelius expressed this wisdom beautifully. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. The secret to maintaining calm in life's chaos is learning where to place your focus. When a challenge arises, pause and ask yourself, do I have the power to change this? If the answer is no, why waste your energy fighting against it? Picture a sudden downpour on a bright day. You can open an umbrella, but you cannot will the rain to stop. Resisting the inevitable only leads to frustration, while acceptance brings peace. A powerful Stoic exercise for strengthening resilience is premeditatio malorum, a practice of preparing for adversity. Each morning, take a moment to visualize setbacks that might come your way: a failed project, unexpected criticism, or a sudden inconvenience. Then, remind yourself, I am ready. When difficulties arise, you will face them with a steady mind rather than being thrown off balance. Seneca offers a profound insight. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you need is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. Peace isn't found by changing your circumstances. It is built by transforming your mindset. So, the next time life feels overwhelming, be like a still lake. Let the waves pass over you rather than drown you. Tranquility isn't something you must chase. It has always been within you, waiting to be embraced. 9. Let actions speak louder than words. In a world that rewards grand speeches and persuasive words, action often takes a back seat. People make promises, paint impressive pictures of themselves, and captivate others with eloquence. But Stoicism reminds us that true strength is found not in what we say, but in what we do. Epictetus offers a powerful lesson. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Your values should be reflected in your daily actions, not just your words. If your intentions are genuine, there is no need to constantly explain yourself. Your life will speak for itself. Think of a time when someone's words let you down. Perhaps a colleague promised to help on an important task, but vanished when the time came to deliver. On the other hand, maybe someone else, one who never boasted quietly, stepped in and solved the problem without seeking credit. Who, in the end, proved to be the reliable one? This principle applies everywhere. Social media is filled with people proclaiming values they don't practice. It's easy to craft an image, but harder to live with integrity. Stoicism encourages us to observe rather than be easily swayed. Instead of placing faith in grand statements, pay attention to what people actually do. Have you ever noticed how much wisdom comes from watching and listening rather than reacting? When you resist the urge to engage in empty conversations, you conserve energy for what truly matters. The same applies to relationships. If someone repeatedly makes promises they don't keep, instead of getting upset, step back and observe. Their actions will reveal the truth more clearly than any explanation ever could. The best way to live by this philosophy is to start small. Complete a task without announcing it. Help someone without expecting thanks. Work toward your goals without the need for validation. Each time you choose action over words, you strengthen your discipline and character. Let your deeds become your voice. At first, the world may not notice. But over time, your consistency, reliability, and results will become undeniable. The question is simple. Will you be the one who speaks or the one who proves? 10. Finding stillness in nature. Picture yourself in a quiet forest at dawn. The crisp morning air carries the earthy scent of damp soil and fallen leaves. Sunlight filters gently through the canopy, painting golden patterns on the ground. Birds sing their morning melodies, and a soft breeze whispers through the trees. In this moment, the world slows. The noise of daily life fades, and a deep, effortless calm settles over you. Nature, in its quiet wisdom, reminds us that peace is never far away. We only need to pause and embrace it. When was the last time you truly immersed yourself in nature? Stood beneath a vast night sky and let its endless expanse put your worries into perspective? Observed how the stars, though separated by light years, exist in perfect harmony without needing to speak. Nature teaches us a valuable lesson. Tranquility is not something to be chased. It is always present, waiting to be noticed. More than anything, nature shows us the power of surrender. Think of autumn leaves drifting to the ground. They don't fight against the wind. They let go, trusting the cycle of life. Yet we, as humans, often cling to things that burden us, grudges, fears, anxieties, as if holding on will bring us control. But what if we released them? What if, instead of resisting, we chose to adapt and move forward like a river flowing effortlessly around obstacles? I remember pausing during a morning run to watch a stream weaving its way through rocks and fallen branches. The water didn't resist or force its way, it simply moved forward, unwavering in its path. In that moment, I realized how much energy we waste trying to control the uncontrollable rather than accepting and adjusting to life's natural course. Strength isn't always about resistance sometimes, it's about knowing when to let go. Spending time in nature doesn't just bring peace, it reconnects you with yourself. The rustling of leaves, the rhythm of waves, the stillness of a mountaintop, these are subtle reminders that calmness is not found outside of us, but within. We only need to quiet the noise long enough to hear it. So take a breath, step outside, and let nature guide you back to yourself. Through these 10 powerful lessons, we have explored ways to focus on yourself and find clarity amid life's chaos, guided by the wisdom of Stoicism. These aren't just abstract ideas, they are practical tools to help you cultivate inner strength and peace. Life will always be noisy, but sometimes all it takes is a moment of stillness to remind you of what truly matters. Let these insights be your quiet compass, a source of resilience, not through force, but through steady, unwavering presence. If this message spoke to you, take a moment to reflect and share your thoughts below. If you found value in these words, pass them on to someone who might need them. And if you'd like to continue this journey of self-discovery, subscribe for more insights on living with clarity, purpose, and peace. Thank you for being part of this journey.